Hey guys, Mike here at Image Tutorials and welcome back to a new video. Alright, well as you can see in our reference image, we are going to model some shocks. Okay, cool. Alright, let's get started with that. Not too much I can say about it, except that we're just gonna give it a go. Alright, so we're gonna start with the main aluminium section here, that part right there. So what we'll do is we'll take a polygon cylinder, we'll pull that out, hit W to pull it out, hit E to rotate it, and hold down J to snap it into steps of 15 degrees, like so. We're going to hit R, we're going to pull that out a little bit, and let's say that we have that first section right there. Okay, so what we're going to do down here is let's see if I can still take these caps out without messing the whole thing up. Yeah, good. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to create this section right here. And for that, what we'll do is we'll go in and go to Insert Edge Loop, option box, single setting, that's good. And we'll do that about there. We're going to right click, go to face, select and shift double click and go to Edit Mesh and Extrude. And then we're going to have a look as to how far the thickness is. I'm going to drag that out a bit. And because that's the only reference image we have, we kind of need to eyeball that a little bit. I think that's about right. Okay. Let's have a closer look and see what's going on there. Okay, so we got a section coming out there. And that works out quite well. We're going to take that face, edit mesh, extrude, hit W, pull that out. Now, I'm not quite sure whether that is tapered or not. It looks to be a little tapered, but it's only that end. So we're going to take that section like so. Then we're going to come down a bit. So we're going to go to edit mesh, extrude again, hit R to scale down just a bit, W to pull forward just a bit, hit G to repeat last command, and W to pull out again. So we're now in that smaller section down here, which is a bit longer as you can see. And from there, we're going to go to that section, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to hit G to repeat, R to scale down, pull that in, hit W and pull that forward. And then we're going to hit G to repeat again, and W to pull forward. Okay. And then when we have that, we're going to go and look at this guy at the end, which can be a bit tricky, but we'll see how that pans out. We're going to take a polygon pipe, and looks like this is a bit rough, so we're going to need to smooth that. So let's do that first. Hit 3 to smooth it out. Okay, you can see it needs some edges. So let's go to Insert Edge Loop. There we go. And we're going to do one there. We'll do one there. One there. And we're just going to work our way down. Okay, let's move this way. We'll do one there. One there. Q on a keyboard, right click object mode, hit 3 to preview smooth. Let's see, that's not too bad. We're getting close, but not close enough. So we're going to do some more. We'll do one there, one up there, and one down there. They seem to be all right. And this guy is okay. All right. So hit Q on a keyboard, right click object mode once again, hit 3 to preview smooth. That looks cool. So we're going to go to mesh and smooth to make that more definite. Okay. All right, so now we can take this guy, we can hit W, move it out. Let's increase the subdivision to 30. We're going to hit E to rotate it. Nope, not there. Hit E to rotate it. Hold down J to snap it to 90 degrees. Hit W, pull that out, and push that in. And then we need to kind of eyeball that a little bit. So as far as the thickness is concerned, looks like we're good. We are going to need to right click and go to edge and double click on that edge and on that one. All right. And then we're going to hit R and we're going to pull that out, push that in a bit like so. Just going to have a look from the top view here to make sure that this guy is sitting correctly. We're going to hit 4 for wireframe mode, which will help me to set it right. Yeah. We're going to hit R to scale it out just a little. Okay. Looks all right. Now keep in mind, if you're going to use this for, let's say, an animation or something like that, you don't want to have the geometry cutting into itself like what you see right here, right? What you would do is you would take these faces out and you would connect the individual vertices to make that a smooth thing, okay? We're going to have this textured with metal. We're going to do a one render shot, so it shouldn't be a problem, okay? But just so you know that, as I know for sure that I will have some comments on that, okay? Cool. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take another, actually we'll take a torus, and we'll pull that out here and bring that in. There we go. Oop. Hit R to scale that up a bit. Let's see where I'm at here. Okay. So in our attribute editor, let's do section radius 0.15. Let's do 30 on the subdivision, like so. We're going to select it. We're going to hit E to rotate it and hold down J to snap it. Then we're going to bring that down towards our opening. F to zoom in, R to scale down, F to zoom in again. I'll hit 4 for wireframe mode so we can kind of see it a bit better. Okay. And then we're going to scale it down a bit more from our top view. We're going to hit W. We're going to hit F to zoom in, and we'll do one there. And Control D to duplicate. F to zoom in, and one there. Okay. That looks right. And then we'll take another polygon pipe. Let's bring that out. Bring it over. E to rotate. J to hold and snap. Let's get that thing in there. First, we're going to add some subdivision. Let's do 40. Thickness, we'll do 0.2. And we'll hit R to kind of scale it in. And then we're going to move over. Hit R to scale that up a bit. And from our top view, hit W, move that in. F to zoom in. R to scale out. Let's see what we got. Okay, we're going to bring it in just a bit. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. All right. So now that we got that part, let's look at what we got going on up here. And this guy, we need to tweak a little bit because it's a bit too round here. So we're going to right click and go to face. And I'm going to hit shift period to increase that selection. And then shift select this to deselect that. Hit delete to take that out completely. And I'm going to right click at the edge, double click on that edge and go to mesh and fill hole. Okay, hang on. Forgot one step. Insert edge loop. Q on my keyboard. Right click edge. Fill hole. Much better. Okay. And as you can see, I still got smooth select going on. So we're going to hit 1 to go back because we already applied that here. So that all looks good. Okay. So now we have this stuff going on here. Okay. Now overall, this section seems to be a bit too long. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click and go to vertex. Drag select that. Hit W and start to bring that in. And then select that and bring that in as well. Maybe, yeah, maybe like that. Okay. So we got that bar in the middle there. So for that, what we'll do is we'll right click and go to face. Take that guy, edit mesh, extrude. Hit R to scale that in to about so. We're going to hit G to repeat, W to pull out. And let's see, that should be slightly longer than that. So we got this as a reference. So we'll do, yeah, we'll do that. Okay. Now we got this guy going on at the end here. So what we'll simply do is we'll go in to insert edge loop. We'll add one, let's say here, and then we're going to go to insert edge loop tool again, multiple, let's do 5 and add them all there. And then we're going to hit F to zoom in this view. And what we're going to do is not that. We're going to right click, go to vertex, drag select these, hit R, start to scale them up, and then skip one every time as you go. Okay. Guess that looks all right. Okay, and then we have this section going on here, which is pretty close to this. So we're going to borrow this guy, all of it. Right click object mode. There we go. We're going to go to mesh and combine. We're going to control D to duplicate, W to move that over, and F to zoom in. Let's have a look. Okay, so we need to have some parts. Modify center pivot. So what we'll do is we'll take a polygon cylinder, pull that out, E to rotate, hold down J to snap. Let's do 40 subdivisions. From a top view, hit F to zoom in. We're going to hit W, we're going to move that over here. Hit R to scale it in. And we're just going to move it over here so we can kind of have roughly the same thickness. And actually, we need to have that first. That's better. We're going to hit W, we're going to move it up. All right. Then we can get this thing to the same size. All right. So that's good. We're going to bring that out here. Have a look from this view. Yeah, seems to be okay. So that's going to be pretty close. So that will be, I'm not sure if it's actually hitting that right there. And it even looks to be a bit open on the bottom there. So let's deal with that. Excuse me. We're going to right click and go to face. And we're just going to go around and select all these faces. There's probably a quicker way to do that. Right click, go to object mode, right click face, select all of them, and then deselect that. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Edit mesh, extrude, hit R to scale in, G to repeat last command, W to push in. That looks better. Then we're going to right click, go to object mode, select it and bring that in. Okay. And then we're going to take this guy, bring that in, and we need a connecting piece. So we'll take a polygon cylinder and bring that out. E to rotate, J to snap. Once again, 90 degrees. Set that to 40 subdivisions. We're going to hit R, we're going to scale it in. Doesn't look to be centered at all, so let's fix that. Okay, let's bring that in right there. Gonna right click on a vertex, take these. That's going to be, that's something we need to extrude a bit. And again, the geometry is cutting into the other geometry, something you normally wouldn't do. In this case, as I said, because I am modeling this just for a single render shot, we should be good. Okay. So now let's look at our coils. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pretty much. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to create, polygon primitives. We're going to go to helix. Let's pull that out. Hit E to rotate, hold on J to snap. And then we're going to go to our polyhelix 1 tab. Number of coils, I want 10. I want the height to be adjusted. And I want them to be very thin. Let's see, 0.2, 0.15. And let's see what we got here. Let's hit W, bring that in. All right. Now what we're going to do first is we're going to move the, I'll hit 5 for shaded mode. We're going to move the pivot point. But before we do that, let's decrease the radius some more. 0.1, that's probably a bit better. I'm going to hold down D to move my pivot point. I'm going to, oh, hang on. Let's hit the insert key. That works better. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to move the pivot point all the way down. All right, a bit more. Hit the insert key again. So now if I tweak the height, it will come down from that side. It should anyway. Not exactly what I wanted, so I'm going to have to tweak it a bit. Let's do 8.5. Let's see what we get. That's actually not bad at all. 8.5. All right. Let's see if that diameter is okay. Okay, I see what the issue is. We need to increase the hole diameter because it's supposed to align with that plate right there. So this right here, and then the whole thing has to move over here because that's where it should line up. And now I'm going to go to modify and center pivot, and let's decrease that height a bit. Let's see, 8.3, 8.1 maybe. Okay, that looks all right. Then from our top view, we're going to bring it in. Have to zoom in. Have to zoom in again, and let's set that. Come on. That should be all right. Let's have a look. Okay. Now, there are a couple of things that I want to do next. What I want to do is texture it in Keyshot. Now, I know that some of you will say, hey, I don't have Keyshot, so I'm going to go through the steps for texturing in Maya first. So for this material, you would right-click and go to Assign New Material, and we'll go to MIA, Material X, okay, and go to the Material tab to Presets, and then you can either use Chrome and hit Replace, or you can use, let's see, where is it? Satin Metal and Replace, okay? So that will cover all the Chrome bits, right? For the rubber ring that's in here, the black rubber ring, you would go with the same material and then go to Rubber and Replace. For the, I think that's kind of a copper or something like that, you would go in and use that setting. So all of this can be done with the MIA material. For the red coil, you can use a red blend, okay? But that said, I'm gonna do this in Keyshot. So what I need to do is I need to assign kind of a color map. So I'm gonna take this and this and this, this and this and all of that, right? I'm going to right click assign new material. I'm just gonna do a Lambert, and I'll change that color to, let's say, yellow. If he wants to respond, yeah, there we go. Now I have some parts in here that are individual, so I'm going to go to mesh and separate. Okay, so that's a rubber ring. So is that one. Assign new material, Lambert. Let's do red, and then the ring inside. Assign new material, Lambert, and blue. Okay. Now I got the same deal over here. I still need to separate that guy. Mesh separate the ring and the ring. I did those in red, yeah. So assign new material, Lambert, red. Then that guy, Lambert and blue. And then we have our coil. Assign new material, Lambert, and let's do green. Let's see how smooth that guy is actually. Let's hit 3. That's much better. Okay, so we're going to go to mesh and smooth because it's a pretty important piece of the whole thing. So we got that, and then we have this rubber section over here, which is this piece. So for that, we're just going to right click and go to face, And I'm going to click and shift double click, and then we're going to shift hit period to increase that selection. And we're going to right click, assign new material, Lambert, and just use a color that we haven't used yet. Let's do baby blue. All right. So we got all that. I'm going to drag select it. Hang on. Right click object mode. Drag select it. I'm going to go to edit, delete by type, history, modify freeze transformation. And then what I'll do is I'll go up to file, export selection, and let's call that coils FBX on my desktop. That's fine. And now we'll just jump over to Keyshot. See you in a sec. Okay, guys, here we are in Keyshot. I'm going to go up to File, Import. I'm going to look for my coils. There we go. And click OK to import it. And there you go. It has our color map, as you can see. So let's start by applying some material. We're going to go to the Material tab here, and we're going to go to Metal. And let's see what we want on our metal here. Just gonna give this a try. Yeah, that's pretty close. That's good. Then let's see. That's all covered. I'm just wondering whether a chrome would look a bit cooler. So let's see. Let's try that. Chrome basic. And it looks a bit bland right now, but once we change the lighting, and I'll quickly do that, I'll go to environment and then to studio and panels and take the overhead and drag that in. A very, very different look. Okay, nice. All right, so now that we got that, we're gonna go and look for the black rubber for the rings, which will be in the material tab under uh, plastics, soft rubber. There you go. So we're gonna add that right there, and they should have been added everywhere, but I didn't use the same material here, so I'm gonna have to do it this way. That's fine. There we go. Okay, so now for the rings inside, I'm going to go back to metal and let's see. Well, let's try our brass here. Yeah, it's nice. Okay, and we'll do that same right there. We still got some rubber at the end there, so I'm going to go to rubber. There you go. And then we have to get the metallic paint that we want for our coil. So I'm going to go up to, let's see, paint metallic. I'm just looking for something that's very dark red. This would be pretty good. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, so now that we have that, let's change our angle slightly. And as you can see, the material that was cutting into the other material, in this case, it doesn't really matter. So it's a quicker way to work. Okay, so we got that. I'm going to go up to camera and let's check our settings here. Actually, lighting first. I'm going to go with a full simulation, which gives ground reflection and so forth, and I'll just walk you through that. So we've got self shadows, we've got global illumination, we've got ground illumination, caustics. We don't really need the caustics. And I'm not too fond of the interior mode because once we shut that off, actually, in this case, I think it works. Yeah, it does. Yeah, so we're going to leave that. All right. So we got that. Let's see. We're going to go to our background, which is fully white. Is a little bit better shading there. Oop, don't zoom in that much. One more. Yeah. Tilt it just a little bit. Okay. Now we're going to go to our render window. We're going to go to our render tab, and I'll just call this coils JPEG. I'll save this out on my desktop, and we'll do a preset size. I'll make it nice and big, 3840, 300 dpi. That's good. I'm going to hit render, pause the video, and see you guys when it's done. All right. All right, guys, well, there you have it. There's our final render. As you can see, I kind of made the size a little bit smaller because it was going to take forever, but I think this looks okay. So, yeah, if you have any questions, let me know, as always. For those of you who are patrons to my channel, you will find this file in the shared drive. If you want to become a patron, you can find details below. And that said, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.